or 8 became involved. And of those 7 or 8, they were influential people. First of all, Jacques Menage and Ruffin Slater started this station, and then Peg Nolan, Ruffin's girlfriend, significant other, was brought on board. But also I'd like to say that probably Chris Carter and Art Minnies know Jacques Menage much better than I do. And they go way back with Jacques. But Jacques and Ruffin called for a meeting in 2003 for all people interested in WCOM to come to that meeting. I was at that meeting, along with Cat Devine, she was there, Fred Wasser, who became part of this station, Bob Burton, he was there, Melva Oakham, who had a jazz show for 5 years, Solomon Gibson III, Solomon was there, Chris Frank, who was our first station manager, and all of those people, possibly Tom Arnell, who you were talking about. Tom had a show called the Placeholder Show. He brought in people in the community, they would pick music, and he would play the music they picked, along with what he did the first half hour. It was a great show. And Tom, I hated to see him leave. But the people that were at that first meeting were the people that did the most work in the very beginning to get this station started and on the air. And I don't think anybody knows how hard Ruffin and Jacques worked to put this thing together. They literally built the station. Jacques built the tower. Chris can tell you, Jack can tell you this. They worked so hard and basically ran the station for the first 5-6 years and then backed away. But every time we had a move, Jacques, along with Leo Reynolds and Bill McClymonds, built the studios for us to have a place to broadcast. Well, Kat was at that first meeting, and she so wanted to be part of WCOM, and she became part of the station. She had 2 shows at one time. I trained her along with, I can't remember who, for one show, and she was able to keep the show in the afternoon, a weekday afternoon, for maybe 2 years. And I remember she was so enthusiastic about getting the show, and after I trained her, and she had been part of the station already 2 years or so, she said, "Oh, Rocco, I can now fly the airplane. I can go on the air by myself." And she was so enthusiastic about it. Anyway, she later teamed up with someone else who was on the air at another time, for another year or so, and then she got sick. She had cancer, and she fought the cancer 5 years, 6, 7, 8 years, I don't know. But I can tell you there was no one that was a better WCOM fan. She listened to all of the shows. She used to come in on my show every Saturday morning. She used to call me on my show. Sometime I remember subbing for Cabot Dixon one time. Cabot just left. He had a show on Thursday about 10 o'clock at night. She called me when I was on. This was in the summertime, and I was around. And I said, "Cat, what are you doing?" She said, "I'm listening to Cabot's show." She listened to all of the shows. I don't think anyone will ever know how much money she has given this station. The only ones who would know, you'd have to get Ernie and Art and Ruffin Slater, who was the first treasurer, unofficial treasurer, who ran the books for 5 years. You'd have to get what they know about the money she has given this station to keep it afloat, to help it to, I don't know how many shows she was an underwriter for.
At the end, there was 7 or 8.
Art, how many shows?
Just 7 or 8 at the end.
Yeah, 7 or 8 shows she was underwriting. we had another show that I thought was a terrific show. I think Fred Wasser helped bring it in, which was called Undercurrents. It was, what was it? Craig McVicker from Nevada was doing the show. It was a good show. She paid for that show every year. So we don't know how much money she donated to this station to keep it going. And, well, she was a special person. She loved WCOM. And when she passed away, we all missed her very much. Before I go to the award, I'd like to open it up. Does anyone here have anything they'd like to say about Cat Devine? One other thing, she opened her house to anyone that was with WCOM. I remember Heidi, remember we had a meeting over there? One of these
Ice cream
meetings.
social.
Yeah, 2 or 3 of
At her
them.
house.
We would go to her house. It was always open to anyone from WCOM. And every time Carrboro had some kind of an event, Carrboro Music Day, Carrboro Day, this, that, 4th of July, Cat Devine was at the tables. Remember, Eliza? She was always there trying to keep this station in the forefront. So I don't know if we'll ever have another Cat Devine, ever. Is there anyone here who'd like to say anything about her? A story or anything? Heidi, you want to say something? You
Well,
got it.
Kat would email me frequently during my show,
Fine.
often to correct me on my mispronunciation of French words.
Yeah.
So, French bands that she would know, and I would be like, some obscure Montreal band. She knew who it was, so she was French. But it was always a delight to know that she was listening.
Yeah, she loved La Bottine and couldn't get switched off.
Now it's about 10 o'clock. The parking lot is totally and completely deserted. I mean, not a car, except for mine, illegally parked up against the building on the side. In comes a vehicle, and out jumps Rocco. And he comes in and says, I heard you on the, I can't believe you're here doing the show, and it sounds so great. And we were the only 2 people within 20 miles. But I've had the good fortune of him doing that, and I never met Cat, unfortunately. Art, Rocco have given me a treasure trove of stories and information about her. So when I was thinking about, what could we do as a collective group to establish an honor to someone? And there's a number of people here in this room who should be honored in one form or another. But Cat stood out. And that's what created the first, and will continue, the first annual Cat Devine Awards. You want to talk about our recipient?
We talk about our recipient. I also want to tell you, I have met a lot of people, like all of you. I have met thousands and thousands and thousands of people because I was in the public schools for 41 years. If you're in the public schools for 41 years, I was a teacher, a coach, an assistant principal, a principal. You meet thousands of people. When I first started teaching, I was a high school science teacher. Those people are now 72 years old. Almost all of you could be former students of me. Would have been one of my former students. They were 18 years old in 1966. I was 21, 22. Well, my modern math is, hey, what can I say? I'm 77, going to be 77. They're 72 now. So, thousands and thousands of people over the years, just with the schools. The person we're going to honor tonight is a special person. I have met a lot of people, like all of you. This person, first of all, this person has seen it all. He has seen it all live, from the 20s to the Depression to World War II to the Korean War, the 50s, the 60s, the Vietnam War, everything that's come after Nixon, Watergate, up to today. The turn of the century, the 80s, the 90s, the 2010s. He's an amazing guy. He's honest, he's hardworking, he's trustworthy, he's persistent, he's intelligent, he's reasonable, and he's one of us. He is one of us. I am talking about Bill Hendrickson, who is going to be 91 years old. About Bill Hendrickson.
That's enough. Don't tell me that. You said we would keep the values up. Keep our
Bill, first of all, Bill, he's one of a kind. He's done it all. He really has. He amazes me all the time. He comes on my show. He started coming on the Music Hall show back when we were in the first studio. And he'd come on and tell everybody about his upcoming show, which he still does. And Bill and Sally have opened their house to us. We used to have meetings there, parties, get-togethers on Saturday, and even now, to their new home in Durham. I think you invited anybody from COM on 4th of July last year.
Just special people.
Special people. Exactly. Bill has called me on the phone on my show Saturday morning from all over the country. One time he called me, we were getting ready to go in the Lincoln Tunnel in New York, and here he is on the phone, and I put him on the air. And when he calls me, I'll always put him on the air. And he'll say something about this or that, and he is a true WCOM. He really is. He loves the station like all of us. You know, I am you, you are me. We all are here because we love radio. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So I feel honored to be able to present this award along with Ted Whiteside, our new president, CEO of WCOM, to Bill Hendrickson. One other thing, Ted. Bill is able to get, and I don't know how he does this, the most high-powered guests in the area. Everybody from you. He gets everybody. Ernie Hood is the same way. Ernie can get the people for his show that are just the most important people in that field. Ernie, I don't know how you do it. Bill has produced and hosted Time Out, where he's done almost 600 shows on his own, by himself, at now age 90. Now, how many people do you know that can do that? Bill is a great WCOMer. He's also a veteran, and he was in the United States Army intelligence business in the early 50s in Berlin during the Cold War. He doesn't say much about that. The last thing I'm going to say is Bill Hendrickson is a great WCOMer, and he's a great American.
Oh, I gotta stand up now. I'm old.
Bill, we wanted to present you with the first annual Cat Devine Award.
Bill, I want to tell you, it's my pleasure and privilege to be able to call you my friend.
Nice. Try when you got all this stuff with the stop it.
Would you like to say a few words, Bill?
Well, I got the speech ready, but after that lovely talk from our alder lady, I
I just want to thank, this belongs to everybody. You realize that. This belongs to everybody here who's done such a wonderful job with the station, Ernie and Art, and it's just, and Heidi, and you were sick the other day.
Yesterday.
You didn't do your show, and now you're here today. And it's such great shows. The fact that you folks do these shows and you spend the time that you all have to do. Rob Westerman does his show, and he even plays a lot of music that he has written himself. I mean, there are other community stations around the area, none of which really matter. And this station really matters, and the people here, you guys are so great. I've heard your name. I don't know a lot. You don't know me, but we're all in this family together, and getting this award, which belongs to everybody. I got to remember, it does belong to everybody. And Rocco, thank you for those great comments. I'll see you.